Hanrahan is synonymous with private investigations. My father, Edward R. Hanrahan, started the firm in 1956, and now the third generation is an integral part of our firm. Hi, I'm Bob Hanrahan, and our team of English and Spanish-speaking investigators have the experience in a wide variety of services, including accident scene investigations, canvassing for videos, witness statements, and locates, to name just a few. Our team of investigators, led by Diann Spadafora, is deep from across the nation to around the world. Whatever you want or need, you can count on our family to take care of yours.
Hi everyone, welcome to the Women's Bar Association Annual Judicial Reception. I'm Sarah King, I'm the president of the Women's Bar Association and a partner at Clifford Law Offices. We are here tonight to honor and remember Judge Mary Heftel Hooton through our awardees and honorees this year who really exemplify Judge Hooton's spirit of perseverance, her compassion, her commitment to justice, and her commitment to promoting women in the judiciary. So tonight you're going to hear about each of our amazing honorees, and you're also going to learn a little bit about Mary Heftel Hooton and her importance not just to women in Illinois, women lawyers, and women judges, but to the Women's Bar Association. So we're so excited for everyone to be here tonight. This is one of my favorite events of the year, and I know a lot of people on the board share that same sentiment. It's a very fun night, but it's also a night for us to be respectful to our honorees and to really pay attention and really listen to who they have to thank for their awards. So I hope you enjoy this video. I hope you enjoy learning about them and enjoy learning about Judge Heftel Hooton. And then I can't wait to cheers you at the end of the video.
My name is Katie Twardak. I am first vice president of the Women's Bar Association of Illinois. I am a judicial reception co-chair, and I'm an attorney at Marsalek, Cote & Casserman.
My name is Caroline Galler. I am the current second vice president of the Women's Bar Association. I have the distinct honor of being a co-chair of this event. In reading Mary Heftel Hooton's biography, I came away very inspired by her.
So Judge Hooton, I think, really is the embodiment of what it means to be a female lawyer and judge.
And she initially started her campaign to be a judge in 1975. So it's a long time ago, and there were not very many female judges at the time.
She was told no by the Democratic Party, and she ran as an independent, and she won. Here in the city of Chicago and in Cook County, is pretty unheard of to go against the party.
She found another way, and she decided to run as an independent, and she was successful. And she was appointed judge in 1976, and she served from 1976 for 16 years on the bench and had a very, very successful career. So that just is really inspiring to me to hear that, because no matter the obstacles that were put in her way, she found a way to get around them. And the quote that she's probably most well known for is, "Keep your head up and keep going."
The word fortitude is something that it comes to mind when I think of Judge Hooton and our four honorees tonight. I think the fact that she stuck to her guns and she was not willing to take no for an answer and then won shows the fortitude that she had, not only as a person, but as an attorney.
Personally, one of the things that I find so incredible was after her long-fought battle to get on the ballot and become a judge, the same year she became a judge, she became president of the Women's Bar Association. From personal experience, I know that's a lot to take on in 1 year, and she did them both with just such tenacity, and she knocked it out of the park on both fronts. So I just really love that about her. That's an inspiration to me personally, and anytime I feel like I'm overwhelmed with trials and the Women's Bar and everything else I've got going on, it's nice to think about that Judge Hooton did it, so I could do it too. In life, she supported other presidents, other boards. She was incredible at growing her organization, and then in her death, she left her estate to the Women's Bar Association. And what that did was create the Mary Heftel Hooton Fund, and we use that today to secure our permanent office space, which we have to this day, and the fund continues to grow with contributions from all of our sponsors, from our members, from our past presidents' efforts to build the fund. And that will guarantee a future for the Women's Bar Association and a future with a permanent home here in Illinois.
My name is Katie Mammis Vanderpoorten. I am part of the Judicial Reception Committee, and I am on the Women's Bar Board of Directors.
My name is Corinne Cantwell-Heggie. I serve the residents of Cook County as a circuit court judge. I'm assigned to the 1st Municipal District in the housing section.
I have the honor of introducing Judge Diann K. Marsalek. Judge Marsalek is notable because she is one of the judges that helps to train all of the new judges in Cook County. She helps champion them, train them, mentor them, and so really her work is so important in the county. One of the most interesting things that Judge Hooton said as WBAI president was for women to keep their heads up and keep going. And there is a very specific parallel between what she said and what Judge Marsalek did as the 2024 Judge Retention Chair, where she led over 70 judges to their retention on the bench. Many of those judges were women.
I've known Judge Marsalek for a very long time, but really got to know her better when she trained me when I was first a judge. Judge Marsalek is certainly a leader in her field, and certainly for the judges. I can say this with great confidence because I did train underneath her when I was first on the bench. And she just leads by example on and off the bench. In the courtroom, she is calm, listens to everyone, and gives everyone the fair opportunity to be heard before she rules. Off the bench, you can see her giving back in every corner of the community of Cook County, which is a great example for her colleagues and those of us who are new to the position of judge. She gives people opportunities by showing them all the different ways you can be good at what you do when you're serving the residents of Cook County as a judge. But she gives everyone a seat at the table, and I think that's the biggest thing I'd like to share with everyone who's listening to this video. She counts no one out. Every voice is heard, every perspective is listened to. So I do know that Judge Hooton was known for having said, keep your head up and keep going. I think it's curious too that I'd be remiss if I didn't mention that Judge Hooton did have a very deep experience in family law. And then when she was serving on the bench, did a lot to advocate for children and children's rights. So I can't not think about that and mention two things. One, Judge Marsalek, I believe, clerked for Judge Hooton. And two, that kind of theme of mother and getting the judges ready to, in fact, take the bench and run a courtroom is something, and rightly so, that Judge Marsalek has been charged with and undertaken very well. I guess when I think of Judge Hooton and her famous words, that's what comes to mind in relation to Judge Marsalek.
My name is Diann Marsalek. I'm the presiding judge of the traffic division down in the Daly Center. This is a very special nomination and it's a great honor. I'm so thrilled that the Women's Bar Association is giving me this honor. It has a special meaning to me too, not only to be recognized by your peers, but I actually worked for Judge Heftel Hooton. Before I went to law school, I was in the clerk of the Circuit Court of Cook County, and she was one of the judges that I worked for in the 1st Municipal Division. So this is really full circle for me to come back and to get an award in her name. She was great to work for. She was always very pleasant to everybody. She had a great demeanor. She had a great heart. She was so kind to everybody. And it was just a great experience to work with her. I was very fortunate that when I started, I had some really great female judges that I worked with and really were mentors to me and set the bar for how a judge should be toward the public.
I've been to many judicial receptions, and it's great that they do this, that they honor the judges. There are really some talented judges that are on the bench, very devoted to serving the public. So it's an honor to be in the company of the other nominees and the people that have received this award in the past. So in my career, I've been very fortunate. I was appointed by the Illinois Supreme Court in 2011. I ran countywide, was elected in 2012. I have done 2 retentions. I was actually the class leader of our retention class, which just got elected in 2024. And there were 77 judges that I was the leader of the class. But the most important aspect is the chief judge, Tim Evans, was nice enough to make me a supervising judge and then a presiding judge. So I have the ability to train every single new judge that comes on the bench in Cook County. So it's been fabulous to meet all these new judges and to try to mold them and shape them to be the best that they can as a judge for the Circuit Court of Cook County. I like to help people. I'm a people person, so I really want to give them their day in court, make them feel that it was meaningful to them, listen to what they have to say, and just try to help them. I believe that that's what public servants should be doing. That's our job.
My name is Subin Lee, and I'm one of the directors on the board, and I'm also one of the co-chairs of this year's Judicial Reception.
My name is Bridget Hughes, and I'm an associate judge, and I'm assigned to the law jury section of the Circuit Court of Cook County.
I have the honor of introducing Judge Patricia Sheahan. Is a Cook County judge at the Circuit Court. Both Judge Sheahan and Mary Heftel Hooton have dedicated much of their career to helping those in need in and out of courtroom, and including children and women.
You know, Patty and I sit in the same division, and our courtroom is next door to each other, so it's wonderful to have her to talk to. We discuss some challenges that we have in the courtroom. Patty's very civically involved, so she's involved in the Judges Association, and then she's very involved in her own community, her parish, St. Joan of Arc, and the high school that her children attend, which is Loyola Academy. She has such a strong commitment to the Catholic education and working to keep it a vibrant community because it brought so much to her life and her children's lives. People are lucky if their case lands in front of her. Anybody's lucky to have her. She's incredibly smart, intelligent, experienced, hardworking. And her civic involvement, really just her civic involvement is so admirable because it's hard to do all that. She has the demands of her family and her job, but she always takes time to do that. She feels it's very important to give back. I think she's very grateful for all the blessings that she had in her life, and so she wants to give back.
I'm Patty Sheahan. I'm a Cook County Circuit Court judge. It is such an incredible honor. I'm honored also to be in the company of the other honorees and those who have come before us. Learning about Judge Hooton has been really inspiring. She was just a force to be reckoned with. Her passion and dedication, not only as a judge, but as a foster parent. She's a real example for all of us. And I love her motto of keep your head up and keep going is really something that I aspire to do. I'm proud to serve in a leadership role at the Illinois Judges Association as an officer and part of the executive board. And outside of the judiciary, I serve on a couple of boards. I'm proud to serve on the board of trustees of Loyola Academy, and I'm board chair at the Academy at St. Joan of Arc, an independent Catholic school in Evanston. I am fortunate to say I have a long list of role models and mentors in my life. I had the opportunity to work with Nancy Parody, who is the president and chief administrative officer at the Shirley Ryan Ability Lab. We worked together for 15 wonderful years, and I learned so much from Nancy. Going to the bench, Eileen O'Neill Burke and Claire McWilliams and Karen O'Malley gave me the encouragement to run for judge, and Eileen Burke, our current state's attorney, is still a mentor to me today. I feel very fortunate for having so many people in my life who took the time to provide advice and give suggestion and provide role models for me. When I was first starting out, there really weren't as many women. I often was the only woman on a case or in a deposition. Nancy was the first woman who I worked with who had a successful career and was also balanced being a wife and a mom to 3 great kids. And she was a trailblazer in my life, setting that example and seeing that balance is possible. I want to thank the Women's Bar and Sarah King, Women's Bar President, for providing this incredible honor and opportunity. Very grateful. Grateful to my family. My husband TJ and my kids are my motivation for everything I do in my life.
My name is Rachel Kathleen Stryber. I am an associate attorney at Healy Scanlon Bugler Gannon. I'm also a co-chair on the Women's Bar Association of Illinois Judicial Reception Committee.
My name is Megan Goldish. I am the secretary of the Women's Bar Association of Illinois, and I am a judge in the Domestic Violence Court in the Circuit Court of Cook County.
I am honored to introduce Judge Judith C. Rice, who is the presiding judge over the Domestic Violence Division. Part of the nature of her role as presiding judge is to protect and serve women, but she goes above and beyond that within the courtroom and outside of it. One of her major goals is to develop more robust and detailed training programs for her staff and her fellow court personnel and her fellow members of the judiciary. So she cares beyond what that job duty requires of her.
I met Judge Rice in 2014. We were both elected to the bench in the same year. And the way that I bonded with her, somebody left their phone in the judicial lunchroom, and I see on the phone is a calendar invite for Neiman Marcus last call. And I thought to myself, I think I've met my judicial soulmate. To me, she's a true leader in her field because she's really one of the few people who can balance compassion with fairness, judicial integrity. There are programs that have started and succeeded under Judge Rice in the Domestic Violence Division that are being followed countrywide. We have an overnight order of protection. Somebody who needs an order of protection can obtain one almost 24 hours a day. She absolutely leads by example, and she's somebody people want to follow. Her judicial temperament is one of the best I've ever seen. You try to emulate her. These are emotional cases that you're hearing. She is the epitome of what a judge should be. Judy Rice is one of the most accomplished women I've ever met in my life, period.
My name is Judith Rice, and I am the presiding judge of the Domestic Violence Division for the Cook County Circuit Court. Judge Hooton did so many good things. She dedicated her whole life to protecting children and families. I was impressed to learn that she also, in her role as a judge, if she saw kids who were wards of the state, didn't have a place to live, she and her husband took them in temporarily. I mean, what a dedication to children and a dedication to women in the judiciary and women in the profession. It's just really an honor for me to receive an award in the name of someone who has values that I have. Community, trying to keep families safe, trying to keep children safe. I feel like sometimes I'm a cat with 9 lives because I've had many different careers. Probably the highlight for me was running for public office. I served as city treasurer for the city of Chicago, and getting people banked was really an important role for me. And of course, my role running for judge and becoming a judge. That was a lifelong dream, to be able to get out into the community. I grew up right here in Chicago on the South Side. I'm the first person in my family to go to law school and to become a judge. And so it is a great privilege for me to have this role and to be able to serve the community in the way that I do. I have many role models and have had many role models over the years. I did work for BMO Harris Bank, and Ellen Costello was my role model there. She had a deep devotion to the Community Reinvestment Act. Since I've been on the bench, I've had many judges who've been mentors. One I want to name in particular is Justice Joy Cunningham on the Supreme Court. Joy helped me 10 years ago to become a judge, and she has really shepherded my career as a mentor ever since. We are still in our society not used to women being in non-traditional roles. And I see women walk into the courtroom. The presumption is never that they're the lawyer or that they're the judge. So I'd like to see that change, to have us view women as being able to represent their clients successfully. I think that's where the WBAI really is helpful, for us to be used to seeing women in non-traditional roles and that we can excel. Access to justice is a big thing for Chief Judge Evans. It's for me as well. The majority of our survivors are self-represented. They come to court with no one. We have to make it easier for them to fill out their paperwork, to read through forms, to get through legalese and jargon. We also have to provide them more time for access. We started a program where we have an after-hours pilot where we take cases from 9 p.m. to 3 a.m. to get orders of protection during the night. We have probably helped about 1,600 people at this point. You feel like you're doing something good, something that really affects people's lives. That's what's important to me. I'd like to thank Sarah King, first of all. Just want to thank everybody at the Domestic Violence Courthouse for all of their hard work. It's their job, but they go the extra mile in our division.
My name is Christine Schonbacher. I am on the board of directors for the WBAI, and I am a partner at the law firm Denton's.
My name is Mary Shostak, and I sit on the 2nd District Appellate Court. I am a colleague of Mary Case.
I have the honor of introducing Judge Mary Kay Rochford. Judge Rochford is an appellate court justice for the 1st District of Illinois. She spent a lot of time pro bono hours helping survivors of domestic violence. In and out of the courtroom, Judge Rochford has been an effective public leader and public servant. She's mentored so many women attorneys, both as a judge and then outside in her activity in many of the Illinois and Chicago bar associations.
We've known each other probably for 15 years. Once we both got on the appellate court, we really became fast friends. The Supreme Court saw what a great leader she was, and several years ago, they appointed her to be the chair of the Access to Justice. And Access to Justice in Illinois was created to give the more vulnerable individuals in our state the ability to navigate the court system. Mary Kay was instrumental in making that happen. She's an amazing leader because she doesn't only give you her ideas, she seeks your ideas as well. She saw what was needed on that committee, and she immediately went out there and she did it and was very successful. I've heard said that the kindest person in the room is generally the smartest. And I think that is evident with Mary Kay. She is so extremely bright. You never hear her say a bad word about anyone. You always hear her behind you, cheering you on. She gets important work done for our profession, and she does it quietly. She does it without bragging. She loves our profession, and she just exudes her love of the legal community. She is one of my dearest friends and one of the best judges that I know. I think women lawyers have come a long way, and it's because of people like Mary Kay Rochford. She has broken that glass ceiling over and over again. She was of the generation where she really did a lot to bring up these younger lawyers that are coming behind us. And I don't think there's anybody better to get this award than her.
My name is Mary Kay Rochford, and I'm a Justice of the Illinois Appellate Court in the 1st District. I think I, like so many women that are part of the legal profession, and particularly the judiciary, know of Mary Heftel Hooton and the legacy, the extraordinary life that she led. When I was running to become an associate judge at the end of 1990, I was spending my time running around Cook County to the various courthouses trying to convince the circuit court judges that I was worthy of being elected an associate judge. I would write letters to the judges that I had seen that day to thank them for their time. One night I came home to a piece of mail from the Circuit Court of Cook County, and it was from Mary Heftel Hooton, who I had met a few days before. And her act of kindness was to handwrite a note to me that said, "Dear Mary, best of luck in your race for associate judge. Sincerely, Judge Mary H.H." To receive an award in her name is, of course, a very immense honor. But I think I'm particularly honored as well. The other honorees, Judges Marsalek, Rice, and Sheahan, are women of great accomplishment on the bench, but also they're just people that you just like and admire. From the start of my career, I had supervisors that encouraged me and told me that my job as a judge didn't end at the courthouse, that I needed to go beyond the courthouse doors to contribute to the community. That first started out in small ways by being on domestic violence councils in the community, and it culminated in being a commissioner on the Illinois Access to Justice Commission when it was formed in 2012. I then went on to become chair of the commission. It was the most rewarding work that I have ever done, to work to help those in our community who can't afford representation or face language or financial barriers to our courts. Just gave me a great sense of accomplishment. In receiving this award, I would like to acknowledge Bridget Frances Rochford. She was my mother, and she was immigrated to this country from Ireland. She didn't have a chance for education, and she spent her whole life caring for her family, and as relatives from Ireland came to Chicago, our house was open to them. So she didn't have the chance or the opportunity, but she certainly told me to work hard and that there was nothing I couldn't achieve if I wanted to.
I am Molly Wells, and I'm the Secretary of Membership for the Women's Bar Association, as well as the co-chair of the Judicial Reception Committee this year. The Women's Bar has a long history of recognizing individuals in the law who give back to the community and to the legal profession and inspire others, and I think this event and the judges that we selected this year as the honorees exemplify those qualities, and we're honored that they've accepted the award and that they stand as leaders in our legal community and act as an example for everybody else. This event also would not be possible without our amazing sponsors, including our partner sponsors, Clifford Law Offices, Romanucci and Blandon, Cassidy, and Wallace Miller.
Thank you all for your attention tonight. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed learning about each of our honorees and Mary Heftel Hooton. We'd love to see you at our upcoming Women's Bar events. So we have a happy hour in her heels event that's just 6 days away on March 12th. All the money from that event goes to benefit WINGS, domestic violence education, and all the work that WINGS does to help domestic violence victims. I'd also really encourage you to check out our website right now and donate to a Dress for Success drive that we're doing. It's a gift card drive with an Amazon wish list link. We're doing that in partnership with the Black Women Lawyers Association of Greater Chicago. Additionally, please mark your calendars for our annual dinner on June 26th, so save the date for that, and that will be the installation of our incoming president, Katie Tordak. I need to thank the co-chairs of this event, Subin Lee, Caroline Gallagher, Katie Tordak, Rachel Streiber, Katie Vanderporten, Sylvia Wolak, and Christine Schombacher. This event would not have happened without them, so if you see them tonight, give them a nod or a handshake because this all came together because of them. I also want to thank our partners at Clover Events who are here with us tonight who help us plan this, and our amazing videographer, Nick, from Gerber Scarpelli.
Over the years, the Judicial Reception has always been my favorite event, and the reason that it is my favorite event, and I think the reason that it is so well attended, is because of all of the people who come together in this beautiful building. So thank you for attending.
Congratulations again to all of our amazing awardees tonight. We are so happy for you and appreciate all that you've done for the legal community. We also would like to thank all of you in the audience for coming tonight and being a part of this great event. We can't express our gratitude enough for your support of our organization.